Part 21. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 201. The evil god of the abyss is coming. This information is quickly displayed on all radar panels. In the Tower of Origins. A touch of white sword light swept across, fluttering with crystal light. Then it turned into a humanoid figure. It was the white-clothed White Cloud City Lord who was victorious of snow. Abyssal evil god. How could I be without me in this battle? And a figure covered in golden light and full of blood and blood. The person whose fist intent was majestic, and the essence of the wolf smoke turned into a pillar of heaven, opened his eyes impressively. Evil god. It's not a demon god. I don't know if I can stop my fist intent. Gu Santung laughed loudly and flew out of the retreat. The fist intent is majestic, so that in the Ming world, the starry sky is all rolled up with pure vitality. This guy of the ancient three links is getting stronger and stronger. Cao Zhengchun, inform Zhu to ignore it, and Halong Villa is waiting for orders with the 820 army. Zhu Yuanzhang chuckled lightly and said to Cao Zhengchun. Then he opened the light curtain and started a video conference with the heads of all walks of life to pay attention to the evil god. Among the ninja alliances, the big barrel of the house every day is Kaguya. At this moment, his eyes moved slightly. Mother, just go and see. The ninja world has me watching. The Six Paths Immortals hardly meet Kaguya on weekdays. After all, who can stand it, my old mother, dressing up like a non-mainstream every day? Or be at the forefront of trends? It's heart-wrenching. But today, the abyss evil god appeared, and it was just an eye, showing strength. Just through the live broadcast screen, it can make everyone creepy. These top powerhouses naturally have a strong interest. Even the golden cicada and the little white dragon who were far away in the demon-subduing world also opened the light curtain and watched the live broadcast with the fat monk. It's pure, full of evil thoughts. The fat monk's brows furrowed, and he was no longer as quiet as before. The golden cicada is naturally not as real as the fat monk. Buddha, is this abyssal evil god really very strong? The fat monk nodded. In the past, if I fought with this evil god, it would be only a way to pass away. Powerful, evil, pure, is this the abyss? Fortunately, there is no invasion of the abyss in my world. Jin Shanzi was a little moved. Even the Buddha said so, this abyss evil god must be very strong. Wait, the Buddha said before. Seeing Jin Shanzi, she looked at herself suspiciously. The fat monk picked up a roast duck and nibbled on it, saying, "This is also thanks to a powerful and ancient powerhouse on the other side, whose dharma is profound, and I am far inferior. He gave me a copy of the Nurepam last time. What the hell is going on? I won't say anything." When the fat monk said this, he smiled. He, but, with the help of the one in your origin sources, I can practice this method without side effects. So, now when you encounter an evil god, even if you can't defeat it, you can protect yourself and retreat. If you give me a few more years. The fat monk's words were gone halfway through, but Jin Shanzi also knew what he meant. In other words, I'm not afraid now. And those who pay attention to the evil gods, in a distant wilderness, there are also a few. The abyss. What is this place? What a powerful aura of chaos. This evil god is almost the meaning of Tei Golden Immortal. Tongtian's hand keeps spinning. There are 4 swords of Zuxian, each of which has a string of meat. The divine fire was ignited. With the 4 swords flipped to the sky, the smell of meat came to the nose. And according to them, this abyss has endless layers. On each level, there are 1 or more abyss lords. Every abyss lord is an evil god. Let's put it this way. There are not a few abyss lords who can compete with the realm of golden immortals. Even the realm of that Delugo or the realm of the mixed Yuan Delugo, the realm of the heavenly Dao, or the realm of the heavenly Dao, may also be there. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. Lao Tzu flapped the fan and controlled the flames. Yuan Shi seemed to be impatient, took a sword, and picked out the meat. Brother Yuan Shidao, don't rob it. Zun Ti and the guide snorted softly, but they were not slow to start. On the other hand, Nuwa is eating a few desserts, full of ladylike style. Seeing this, Tong Tien hurriedly pinched his hands to control the four swords of Zuxian. Lao Tzu was calm, and said to Hung Jun on the throne, "Teacher, I don't know if I can ask Senior Yuan to wait for an abyss coordinate for me." Hung Jun shook his head. "The time has not come. Yuan Daiyu has his own plan 0. But in a little while, Yuan Daiyu seems to have a celebration facing the heavens." The small meeting that Hung Jun said was in the origin, and it took more than a year or so. As for the festivities, I'm afraid it's Zhu Yuanzhang, the 3rd anniversary celebration that I heard from Tianhu. Since Hung Jun also said so, then this should be true. Teacher, can we participate in this celebration? Tong Tien asked while eating barbecue. Yuan Daiyu just said that it was not decided yet. Hung Jun said. On the side, Nuwa nodded. Yes. This was said categorically, causing several saints to look at her. Including Hung Jun also looked at it. Senior sister, how do you know? Could it be that you have a personal relationship with the UN seniors? Seeing Tong Tien asked. As a saint, Nuwa couldn't help but blush. It's your business. Seeing Nuwa's annoyed and angry appearance, Tong Tien was not angry, but smiled and said, "Don't, junior sister, you just talk to Senior Yuan, let me enter the origin as soon as possible." That's it, it's. Several saints were coaxing, and Hung Jun all looked sideways at this disciple. It's just a blink of an eye. Is this a hookup? Is this the world of young people? Old. It's all your fault. Humph. G0.3 UN looked at the message sent by Nuwa and was confused. Why do you blame me? Innocent era, there is no reply message. Instead, he continued to look at the many masters of the origin who were gathering. Master, why do you deliberately break through the barriers and connect the abyss? This smell is so bad, so nasty. Gun patted the little head of the sky fox and said softly. In order to give these people the origin, a little blow. Lest they think that there is no strong man in the heavens. This random one is comparable to the golden immortal of the flood wilderness, comparable to the emperor who covers the sky with one hand, and is equivalent to the abyss evil god of the origin immortal. You'll be able to beat them all over the ground looking for teeth. Look at the old man who is interested and looks at the raiders. Sky Fox couldn't help but shudder. I'm scared. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 202. Sister Secret World. The dangerous species on the ground, the Imperial tools, have become inconsequential. The dangerous species are already prostrate on the ground at this moment. It seems to be waiting for God's coming. Aizen's eyes flickered, and he could feel that it was not just oppression at the life level. Every gene, every cell, and even the soul trembles. Just by the huge eyes, it seems like it is about to collapse. Not to mention the already incomplete mind, and even the extreme face-breaking 10 blades. It seems that under the sweeping light of that eye, its own characteristics are instantly hooked, and it cannot be suppressed at all. If it weren't for the blue dye suppressed with the broken jade, the 10 blades of the broken face would only be afraid that they would go berserk in an instant. Transformed into a monster that only knows how to kill, mutated from a pure mind. Thank you. Estes let out a long breath and said thank you. That's a rare achievement. This proud queen, there are few who can make her bow her head. And what she thanked was naturally to help her suppress the blue dye of the Emperor's mutation. The huge eyes in the sky, just by looking at it, she almost died. And in the other continent 05. The dragon maids, under the protection of Luko, turned into dragon forms and coiled on the ground. It's scary, it's scary. Connor-chan's white dragon body trembled slightly. Seeing this, Thor leaned Connor-chan against his side. Then let's go back. Fight, everyone is here, I'm not afraid. Looked at Connor-chan and said categorically. Thor was pleased. Connor-chan is getting more sensible and stronger. Grown up. Connor-chan. Luko reveals her true body, and her entire body appears for the first time, which makes the raiders feel frightened. It's too big. The sinuous body can at least circle the planet under your feet a few times. And Fafnir, Ilulu, Aruma. They're all here, too. As the eye of the abyssal god swept by, the dragon scales stood up one by one. It's so strong, the whole world is wailing. Light is an eye, leaking power. It's not what the world can bear. Luko said in a deep voice. It can't be helped, this level of power. This kind of small world is really shattered at the touch of a button. If it weren't for the maintenance of the origin, I'm afraid it would have been full of holes a long time ago. The consciousness of the world is also trembling. He just asked the UN master to help drive out the abyss wool. Who knew that this adult wanted to hit the raider on a whim? Never mind. Anyway, the adult must have. Afterwards should. Perhaps, there will be compensation. Maybe you can get a blessing in disguise in your world. Will you? Digga looked at the beautiful boy who had changed his voice, and couldn't cry or laugh. Why are you scared like this? When the pretty boy heard Digga's words, he didn't snort anymore. How is it possible? I'm the leader of the Skull Alliance, and I'm also the origin pretty boy King Kong. How could you be afraid of this? Tiga didn't believe it. Otherwise, you were still majestic just now, how can you report to the group to keep warm now? Look at the pair of monsters in front of you, huddled together with each other. Tiga secretly passed away. Himself is an ultra giant who specializes in fighting monsters, a giant of light. Why did you become a gang with monsters? Looking at their embarrassing appearance, I can't wait to rub the light with my hands and sunbathe them. Never mind. Give me a seat, let me squeeze too. Everyone in the origin is watching and paying attention to the secret world of slashing sisters. Especially above the sky, the dark eyes. Dong Huangtai's breath was a little sluggish. That ray just now broke through his kunpeng body. At the same time, the remaining abyssal thoughts were constantly eroding and destroying his body. From time to time, flesh and blood tentacles will emerge from the body. Then it was cut off by the Eastern Emperor Tai. This kind of pain is unbearable for ordinary people. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. This is a living, cutting out of one's own flesh. And this kind of erosion is not easy to remove even ordinary medicines. It can only weaken, not completely remove the debuff. The Eastern Emperor, give. Zhao Gao threw out a bottle of potion and threw it to the Eastern Emperor Tai. Golden Cathedral's recovery potion, to immortal level fully restores all body status 30 and clears all negative ailments to immortal level or below. Thank you, Your Majesty. The Eastern Emperor naturally knew the preciousness of this elixir. It's a top-notch potion. Immortal level damage can be recovered. In other words, if you can destroy the attack of the universe, you can survive with this potion. You say it's not strong. Take the potion. You are just an ordinary person, you can shout that the universe is destroyed and I am not destroyed. It can be seen that it is precious. It's something that can only be found in a box. The probability of production is also outrageously low. This thing, Emperor Qin can let himself drink, which is enough to prove Emperor Qin's bearing. But it's also a wake-up call for everyone. This evil god is very strong. It's the highest immortal level. It is a strong man who can destroy the universe. It is far from the existence that these earth immortals, heavenly immortals, can reach. Don't look at the heavenly immortals and the supreme immortals, there is only one big step missing. But that's a world of difference. Hey, teacher. This is placed in the middle of the world, I'm afraid that even the domination realm has to kneel. Xiao Yan's words are naturally correct. The fighting saints of the Alien Fire Alliance, and the only few fighting emperors, also had solemn expressions. 220 Humph. No matter how strong this evil god is, it has to be done. Gu Santung was not afraid, looking at the pitch-black pupils. Gu Santung, who would be afraid? Don't beat everyone to death with a stick. Lu Xiaofeng stroked his mustache with a smile and said. Then it? The northern beggar Hong Qigong shouted. With luck in both hands, the dragon's roar shook the sky and exploded towards the pitch-black pupils. In a flash. The sword light and sword shadow, the magic weapon's supernatural power, the turtle school Qigong, and the light breath shot towards the pupil one after another. But I saw that the pupils flashed black. A shield light appeared. Actually absorbed all the energy. Almost even some people's magic weapons were sucked away. Then the ghostly light flashed, and above the shield light, a black light appeared. The black light is as thin as a cicada's wings, but it is extremely sharp. It's just instantaneous. The entire heavenly dome of the slashing sister world was cut in half by this black light. It's like an egg that has been cut open. In an instant, the whole world seemed to lose pressure, and a void hurricane blew from the chaos. At the same time, suddenly a loud roar came. The whole world is shaking. A behemoth, coming straight from the chaos. It's the evil god who has arrived. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 203. Click. It was like a crack in glass, and the crisp sound continued. The entire people in the secret realm of Slashing Sisters can hear this voice. At this moment, the whole world is like a lonely boat in the void sea. There is a risk of capsizing at any time. And above the heavenly dome, through the barriers of the world that have been opened, everyone could see that a giant beast that covered the sky and the sun rushed from the chaotic void. Those moon-starry eyes. When the beast attacked, he opened his huge mouth and swallowed it directly. With a roar, the majestic void storm was shaken. Everyone clearly saw the appearance of this abyssal evil god. It was a giant beast that was even bigger than the planet. It exudes a strong abyssal aura. The will is manifested, just by looking at it, you can see countless scenes of chaos and destruction, and you can see it all. Latitude Demon God. The Supreme Mage Ancient One, when he saw this abyssal evil god, muttered. The powerful Latitude Demon God, if he is out of latitude, is at most Heavenly Father. But if it is in its own latitude, its strength is the complete cosmic level, far surpassing that of Heavenly Father. This is the case with Dormammu. But Dormammu did not dare to leave his latitude to invade. Because the strength has dropped dramatically. If it falls into the hands of the Ancient One, it will almost be left to the mercy. And this abyssal evil god, after leaving its abyssal class. But there will be no change in strength. Extremely powerful. It's like the single cosmic level demon god on the Ancient One. Ancient One Mage, this evil god is as powerful as the Latitude Demon God of your world. In the general command room, seeing the four elders of Kyushu asking in the video, Gu Yi nodded. In the middle of the Ming dynasty, Emperor Ming knocked on the table and looked at Zhu on the side. Your Majesty, in terms of the method that I am currently majoring in, it can be compared to a single cultivation of the Yang God, or a single cultivation to shatter the realm of vacuum. Zhu ignored and said slowly. The eyes shine brightly. I don't know when I can have such a demeanor. But now is not the time to talk about it. Now he has only entered the origin for the longest time, and he has only been a raider for nearly 2 years. If you want to ascend to the sky in one step, you must have the power that others have for tens of thousands of years, or even tens of millions of years. That's still a bit of a given. However, the closest to this power now is the Supreme Mage Ancient One, who has just joined. There is also either let the little Monkey King go and call a god of destruction casually, and it can be easily done. He didn't even need to call an angel, let alone a great priest or a king. But alas! Little Monkey King, I don't know these people. Now the little Monkey King, he is pulling the armpit of the beautiful boy, looking for a good place to lie flat and watch the evil god in the sky. Evacuate quickly. The Ancient One said as he opened the portal. I'm here to stop the evil gods. With that, the Ancient One stepped into the portal. The transparent crystal wall surrounds the starry sky in an instant. Block a god's breath. Just as the breath was about to shatter, the eye of Agamotto, which sealed the time gem, bloomed with a runic light. The light spreads instantly. It's like stepping back in time. It's back to the moment when the Ancient One walked into the portal and opened the crystal wall. Going back in time. Emperor Qin muttered. Those of them who watch the live broadcast outside are the ones who feel this picture most intuitively. And all the people in the world of beheading sisters, only the raiders, still retain their memories. The power to turn back an entire world of time. Lan Zhan's eyes looked at the sky, this kind of power, but they couldn't touch it now. Hurry up and decide. The will of the abyss is not affected by time. When the time comes, as long as everyone who is still in this world, they will all turn into demons of the abyss. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. Guyi whispered, urging the raiders to make a decision to retreat quickly. It stands to reason. If the time gem leaves the universe in which she lives, it should be useless. But it is still preserved today, and it is naturally the characteristic of the origin. In other words, it is the permission of the primordial Lord on the sacred mountain. But it is also limited to world raiders and can only be used. Other secret realms can't. Otherwise, isn't it too buggy to brush epics and bosses? If we withdraw, then the world's strategy will fail. We can't take all the people in this world. Liang Rong muttered. But it was quick to say. Withdraw. Although the raiders have the means to resurrect. But if you die here, your own treasure is really gone. Even if it is resurrected, the cost will be very large. And if it is for the sake of the people of this world, he wants his own warriors to die. That's impossible. Evacuation messages were heard. Masters from all walks of life are inevitably unwilling. In vain, I still think that my fist is full of power, but I don't want to, I don't even have the qualifications to approach this abyss evil god. Gu Santung roared, dripping blood. When attacking the evil god, he was injured by a back shock. Whitebeard's hands are cloudy, covered with pitch-black phantoms. A miserable wail came from the blade. It seemed like it was going to collapse in the next moment. Dong Huangtai's hands were hot, but they were already weak. Shame. He roared unwillingly, only hating himself for being powerless. If you can practice the Kunpen treasure technique a little more, let alone the great emperor. If there is a quasi-emperor to cultivate, with its own supernatural powers, and the help of treasures, he will surely be able to slay the evil god. But now, Abyss, I'll write down this matter for the time being. Take a deep look at the abyssal god who is frantically destroying the crystal wall. Dong Huangtai turned around and left quickly. 30 years in Hedong, 30 years in Hexi, don't bully the poor youth. When will you be invincible and surpass the master? You can avenge today's powerless revenge, Wang Zhao. These days, You are indeed too comfortable. Compared to you in your original destiny, although your cultivation is stronger. But that indomitable heart is far from it. Yeoken heard Xiao Yan's words, pursed his lips, and said lightly to Xiao Yan. This is true. Immersed in the gentle township, Xiao Yan for a while. It is indeed far less urgent and thirsty for power than in the original fate. Raiders, these days are smooth sailing. Today, I was struck by the evil god and was shattered. I'm sorry. Red Hitomi looked at the person in front of him who should be an officer, shook his head and said, I don't blame you. But the uncomfortable and unbearable look of the officer in front of him lingered. Instead, the red pupil laughed. And thank you for being able to give us this last bite, delicious meal. Thank you. Absurd. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 204. Today. Perhaps it is a sad day for several major powers to disperse people from all walks of life. The task was not completed. Can only save the people who have been saved, and there are not many people in the secret world who cut off their sisters, and let them go as they are. No matter how much ordinary people cry, it won't help. The fighters wanted to save. But if you can't complete the task, then there is no way. There is a weak heart. To complete the task, it is necessary to clear the will of the abyss. Just kidding, the evil gods are eyeing you there. It would be nice if there was a way to repel it. Even if you die in battle, it's okay, as long as the mission can be completed. The big deal is just a lot of points loss. But the question now is, the Origin Raiders have seen their own weakness. All on together. The latest Supreme Mage can still deal with the evil gods. The others, but forget it. So, in this case, do you still need the Emperor and the Elders? Regardless of the life and death of the soldiers, go to the slaughter? Only when the strength is evenly matched is called killing. This is purely to send to death. Special Mother, when has our old Zhu ever been so aggrieved? Zhu Kongba watched as the large army began to withdraw. The Supreme Master broke off. All the people who survived in the world of slashing girls were put together. Maybe wait for the Ancient One to withdraw and defend 120 after the royal leaves? It is time for the world to end. Among the great Qin. The black dragon roared, flying in the sky. Everybody knows. His Majesty Emperor Qin of Great Qin was obviously in a very unhappy mood. Before the mission, happy. Can also be generous, let the scattered people get the contribution first. As a result, it finally became a piece of chicken feathers. But I have to admit that in the abyss, like today, there are many Abyss Lord evil gods. The development of the worlds. It has to be a moment. No one knows when there will be an abyss and find their own world. And now, everyone can only open their eyes and watch as the evil gods go to destroy the world. In the light curtain. The Ancient One has also received the message. Look at this world, where the last civilization remains. She has seen a lot of small scenes like this. In her own universe, travel through multidimensional time and space. What big scene haven't you seen? Not to mention the world, even the destruction of the universe happens from time to time. In a flash. The defensive crystal wall disappears. The moment the evil god roared, the Ancient One had already disappeared. Ba. Ding. Sister killing secret realm strategy failed. Reward, all Origin Raiders, losers, achievement titles. Note that this title is highlighted from the moment it is obtained, cannot be hidden, cannot be replaced, and lasts for 30 days. Loser, each time a mission fails, it will be highlighted, and for the duration, all discounts will be cancelled, the explosion rate will be reduced, and all rewards for the secret realm and the mission will be reduced. The original message is ringing in everyone's ears. In the past, an achievement title will also make people talk about it. Available today. All the Origin Raiders have a loser on their heads. It must also be crowned for 30 days. Shrimp and pork heart. Huh. Quick look. At this moment, someone shouted at the live broadcast screen. This scene was naturally discovered by others. And at this time, in the origin, a divine light also erupted above the sacred mountain. It's the UN Master who made a move. Damn, I actually want to let the UN Master take action for me, this is the second time. Someone said with shame. I still remember the last time I went to the Warcraft mountain range in the world of the Alien Fire Alliance. The UN Lord gave the treasure and let the Sky Fox make a move. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. And today? Is the UN Master going to do it himself? Not really. In the midst of the desolation, Tongtian wiped the four swords of Zuxian. Teacher, hurry up and... There's no way to contact UN seniors. I'm here to slay the majesty of the abyssal god. Tongtian couldn't wait to immediately lay down the four swords of Zuxian to see the abyss. Teacher, this abyss demon is extremely arrogant, and it should be crossed by me in the west. Don't fight, my Pangu banner is itching. UN Shi shook the Pangu flag, and there were inexplicable clouds flickering and glowing overhead. Hung Jun looked at several saint disciples, arguing to kill the majesty of the abyss evil god. One is compared to the flood golden immortal, in the same level. This kind of abyss evil god is definitely far from being the opponent of the golden immortal magic power and magic weapon. All of you are saints. One glance can stare at this evil god. What is the majesty of killing evil gods? Obviously, he wants to fight the abyss through the connection between the evil god and the abyss. However, I don't know if Yuandaiyu will agree to this. And, according to Yuandaiyu, the abyss is strong. Its abyssal will has even surpassed the realm of the heavenly Dao and become a great avenue. Okay. Abyssal will doesn't need to worry, he won't make a move. Hung Jun looked at Gun's message. I pondered it for a moment. This abyssal avenue, do you dare not make a move, or can't make a move? Forget it, let's not talk about this yet. Go and yourself. Let them go, lest they talk about themselves as teachers and fight with them about this. Alright, let's go. But don't kill too much, the bottom line is 100. 100. Is it 100 evil gods? Of course not. It's 100-layer abyss universe. I'll go. Between the four swords of Zuxian shaking, Tongtian hurriedly shouted. Hung Jun thought for a moment and looked at Lao Tzu. You go for a trip. Lao Tzu smiled lightly. Teacher, disciple is coming. As soon as the words fell, Lao Tzu had disappeared. The next moment, he had already appeared in the secret world of Slashing Sisters. It coincides with the abyssal evil god, ready to devour this world. Evil animals. A soft shout resounded throughout the universe. The people of the earth who are waiting for the destruction to come, the members of the night raid, the Estes and them. I felt that my whole body was illuminated by a golden light, and my injuries and fatigue disappeared in an instant. And the raiders who watched the live broadcast of the light curtain were surprised to see the changes here. A flash of golden light flickered. It's just that in an instant, the incomparably powerful abyss evil god has turned into ashes. Who is this? Maybe Lao Tzu heard the doubts in the heart of the raider. The fan in his hand waved. I am a disciple of Hung Jun Dao ancestor, one of the three Qings, a taking saint, and a moral Tianzun. Today, I have the permission of the predecessors of the UN. I'm here to slay demons and eliminate demons. As soon as Lao Tzu's voice fell, a golden light that penetrated the sky and the earth was released, turning into a golden bridge. The golden bridge manifests in the chaos and freezes the chaotic chi. And on the other side of the golden bridge, there is an endless abyss filled with the aura of the abyss. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 205. Taking Sage. Uncle Nine was dumbfounded and hurriedly bowed down. Draw talismans on weekdays, and the much-read Tais Hang Lajun is as anxious as a law. See. I met a real person today. The saint ancestor himself came down to go to the abyss. It's not a dream. Chizuru said to the chief of the road. I've seen the Buddha. You see Tais Hang Lajun now, what's so strange? Maybe. When, the Taoist ancestors, the Buddhas, and them will all enter the original source. Hear the words of Master Ikkyu. 4 eyes, a few thousand cranes, but the heart is secretly said, you are a bald man you really dare to think. And in the origin. At this moment, it is also making waves. The saint himself has descended, this abyss demon is like an ant. Bei Yingzi said excitedly. This is a Taoist sage. Who is not excited? Don't be in a daze, send someone to pick up the people from that world. Liang Rong still quickly came to his senses. As for the stubble of the taking sage looking for the abyss, the picture is naturally not visible. Saints. Guyi's eyes flashed. The moment the taking sage appeared, she felt it clearly. The law of infinity comes from the surface. Just a glance. It seems to be confronting the fate of truth and causality. It always exudes infinite knowledge and information, and unlike the chaos of the demon gods, it is orderly and organized. But also be careful, once you are immersed in it, you can't extricate yourself. There is a danger of assimilation. Today. It should be the most impressive day for the Origin Raiders. Failed Raiders. Labeled as a loser. And in the Immortal Path cultivation system, the saint who is high up. Personally descended and killed into the abyss. Such important events are naturally kept in mind. Even many people believe it. In the future, these powerful saints may all join the Origin. That might be possible. I want to join your country. Red Hitomi said loudly. After discussing with the members of the night raid, he said it to Liang Rong on the other side of the video. It was a little surprising to Liang Rong. In the entire world of slashing girls, there are not many people left in the end. The whole adds up, it's only hundreds of thousands of people. At last. The members of the night raid got their wish and joined Kyushu. It's Estes, who actually chose to join Kyushu. The dangerous species of the entire beheading world have long been burned into ashes by that Lao Tzu's golden light. The consciousness of the secret realm of the sister can finally breathe a sigh of relief now. To re-evolve life is to not engage in these dangerous species next time. It's directly the world of demonic matter. Peace of mind. The matter of beheading the sister's secret realm is over, and in the end, this result, although it is not what the raiders want. But in the end, it can save the world. It also made them feel a little better. Isn't this a peach pit? What are you buying this for? I don't want to grow my own. Zhang Hulan said suspiciously. Han Li nodded, he had a small green bottle. Ginseng fruit can't be cultivated, that thing can't be transplanted. And there are no seeds in the flesh that can be cultivated. But this peach may still be useful. After all. The last time I attacked the world of Wukong's legend, there were not many peaches left behind, and now there are not many forces left. And there is no good way to cultivate it. If you read a violent novel, go to Filu Novel Network. And his own little green bottle may be able to accelerate his cultivation. This is also his first step into the high-end medicinal materials industry. And I'm about to step into the UN baby. It's more than 100 years faster than the original fate. But there was no complacency. The body was completely damaged by the blow. Among this origin, those who are stronger than themselves grab a lot of them. Not to mention the top players. And even more. In front of the abyssal evil god, he was like an ant. It's hard to think of resisting. But the evil god of the abyss, in front of the saints, is also like an ant. This made Han Li, who was already extremely insecure, feel even more urgent about his cultivation. Originally, he didn't think about starting so early to test high-end elixirs, but he couldn't wait. I'm just trying. Then I wish you success in advance. Cultivate the peach fruit tree, and when the time comes, it will be cheaper, and give me a discount. Zhang Hulan said with a smile. But there was a light in front of me. A burly, resolute strong man, quite an imperial majesty, was looking around. In this way, at first glance, he is a newcomer. Newcomer, newcomer, is there anything you want to ask? I have all the first-hand information from the source. Seeing Zhang Hulan shouting at the man, Han Li asked himself, how could he not do it to this extent? The man was also generous. Said to Zhang Hulan. In the lower Shang Prince. Hung Jun, what do you mean? Silent, sneaky, doing such a big thing, and not discussing with us. It was the demon ancestor Rehu who was shouting loudly and snatching a bunch of delicacies from Tong Tien. And it was not only Rehu who was obviously alarmed. There is also a group of innate gods and demons. If it weren't for the fact that in the middle of the heavens, the Taiji diagram would be wrapped in an abyss fragment full of non-desolate aura. These innate gods and demons who have been sleeping for a long time are afraid that they don't know about it yet. Even if it is covered up by the Taiji diagram, this is not a desolate atmosphere. It was also easily felt by the innate gods and demons. In the midst of the chaos, they have not explored. But I didn't find out how many UN it was. And now, Lao Tzu actually returned from chaos and brought a new message, the abyss. How could this not excite them? The saint wants to step into the realm of the heavenly Dao, and the realm of the heavenly Dao wants to step into the realm of the great Dao. This abyss may be an alternative way. It's not. Luo, who remembered that last time, after being defeated by Hung Jun, he naturally knew that there was great power in numbers. Directly pull a vote of innate gods and demons to support him. In the face of Hung Jun in this way, he has enough confidence. Rehuo, the time has not yet come. When the time comes, I'll be you. Phew. If you believe you're a ghost, you're a bad old man. Quickly collect the magic weapon, let me see it clearly. The corners of Lao Tzu's eyes twitched, and he withdrew the Taiji diagram. A fragment of the abyss emerges within. The shards don't look big. But it contains 100 layers of abysses, that is, 100 abyssal universes. The strongest of them is an evil god with the power of a saint. However, its magic weapon is obviously much weaker than Lao Tzu. Second. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 206. Like Rehuo, these innate gods and demons. They are not saints. It should be said that they are not mixed Yuanwuji Luo Jin immortal. They haven't preached yet. The saint is the fruit of the desolate universe, and there are a number. And the mixed Yuandaluo is the realm. It can be cultivated. But after such a plurality and so many tribulations, they can't step into that realm. One can imagine how difficult it is to preach and mix the elements. After all, even the 6 saints relied on establishing a great religion and creating people to grab merit, and there was that purple chi. Only to achieve positive results. In other words, this is the certainty of the famine. But the mighty ones are like Rehuo, though they have not yet preached. But its combat power is not false at all. Even a saint can fight with it. And now, this desolate thing outside the world can actually have a legal principle that cannot be seen through the 497 intertwined in it. Even let their own laws be refined. So, something outside of the wilderness. That's why they're so interested. This is the thing of the abyss. The legal principles are really very different from mine. This demon of the mixed UN realm, I want it. Just make up for my demon realm laws. These 50 universes are also mine. Rahu grinned loudly, and he hadn't finished his words yet. Seeing that Hung Jun was silent, he was going to take out the baby to do it. Hurriedly smiled. Just kidding. Just kidding. However, the universe where this evil demon is located is very different from our desolate universe and the direction of derivation. The headlines of this hospital: the failure of the raiders, wiped by the Taking Sage gang. Hong Huang Daezu and the sage spoke, this is a small matter, the more the merrier. 2 or 3 things in the universe, the desolate universe, the abyss universe, and the secret world. Taking Sage, that day he actually directly attacked the abyss and laid down 100 universes. Taking Sage, YYDS. Kyushus, don't write abbreviations, I can't understand them. 100 universes, I really can't imagine that I can only control a galaxy. Dakin, are the same, and the population is too small, and if I want to completely control every planet, I can't do everything. Don't say it, my great Qin has just issued an official announcement that I want to control the entire river system within 100 years, and the saints over there have dug up 100 universes. In Master Abe's restaurant, there is no longer the hustle and bustle of the past. The number of guests is almost half less. No way. The strategy is to kill the sister in the secret realm, and was hit by the evil god. I thought that when I went out, I should be considered a strong person wherever I went. Outcome. That's it? Don't run to brush the secret realm and run to practice. Look at this, today's original source information says some information about the world and the universe. Shatterstar pushed the light curtain information to a few people present. Xiaodo ignored it, and was engrossed in the dry rice. It was the concubine and Wanwan who were eating together, but they looked at it with great interest. Uncharted worlds, ranging in size from galaxies with a single star to river worlds with hundreds of billions of stars. Heavenly universe, a universe with complete rules, with various types, such as monolithic universes, multiverses, and universes of all worlds. Monolithic universe, for example, where the scattered people are located or where the power of the kingdom is. An infinite universe is a monolithic universe. Parallel universes, for example, the Supreme Mage Guyi is here, and the universe extends infinitely parallel to each other, with infinite multidimensional time and space. 10,000 Worlds universe, for example, the Flood universe, the Alien Fire Alliance universe, and the Mortal Immortal Deo universe have the main universe and derive the infinite world plane. Information about the world and the universe. Naturally, these two women knew the scientific concept of the sun, moon, and stars, but after they entered, they were popularized again. Now. And then by the information shock of this so-called universe. I also felt strange in my heart. Plus the situation of the last raider. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. His own kung fu, put to the source, is really the kung fu of a 3-legged cat. But I don't know how thick the sky is. On behalf of the emperor, the rivers and lakes compete for hegemony. Perhaps in the eyes of many, your actions seem to be ants fighting and playing. But for the two of them, it was a belief that they had been instilled since childhood. By the way, are you two still going to fight like this? Even the original fate is already known. Is that interesting? Bayakui wiped his mouth and whispered 0. Shifei and Wanwan glanced at each other. The two girls have tacitly these days, and they have not invited anyone from their own sect to join the origin. Aren't you still thinking about it? Both of them are now on the path of immortality. In the long life, do you still have to fight? Continue to rely on their own means to choose the emperor on behalf of heaven? It doesn't seem interesting to provoke the hearts of several national forces not to say anything. Wouldn't it be more interesting to put your talents to work in these heavens and continue to fight? Yo, boss bye, little bean, little star. I'll get a seed too. A voice interrupted the thoughts of the concubine and the concubine. I saw a small shovel on the ground, and Feng Baobao, who was sitting on the horse, came up. Baby, Zhang Hulan is making friends again. Xiaodo squeezed beside Feng Baobao, looked at Zhang Hulan and asked. Yes. Identity is also an emperor. Hearing Feng Baobao's words, several people were stunned. There is another emperor, this is the origin country, is there another kingdom power? Which emperor? Another world, or a parallel world in China? Even Shi Fei and Wan Wan were interested. It can't be any of Datang's, right? It's the Shang Emperor. Shang Huang? Shang Dynasty? Emperor Xin? I'll talk to you. Something different. 1.2 He was the ruler of the Shang clan, the Emperor of Shang. Their world has gods, and they are ruled by gods. Humans are nothing but slaves to the gods as mining slaves. It's miserable. Bang. Feng Baobao just finished speaking. I heard a sudden explosion from the second floor. Miss Feng Baobao, there are gods who treat our human race as slaves. Which world is this? As soon as I heard the voice, I knew that it was the Ming Emperor of the Ming dynasty. These days, the high level of the kingdom is strong, and you are scattered. Which is not a belly of evil fire. Today, this is just the right time to invite Emperor Qin and other leaders of a kind of kingdom to have a drink here. I actually heard this. Take a look. And the fire of evil arose. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 207. Emperor Ming, be quiet, don't let people see jokes. Yang Zhang said softly. I just heard Miss Feng say that the Shang Emperor can be here. Under the great Qin Shi Huang Yang Zhang. It belongs to the same Chinese lineage, and it must be the same as the branches. How can the so-called gods cut off my human freedom? Humph. Even if you can't win, you can complain to the sage of Nuwa in the wilderness when the time comes. Do you dare to fight and still can't win, so you plan to find a saint to find a field to help? Be a man. Be careful of the divine mountain, the mastermind behind the attack on you is going to make a small move again. I have seen you all in the lower Shang Prince. Ha 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 ha. A few of you, come up and talk about it. Seeing the heroic Shang Emperor, Zhu Yuanzhang couldn't help but light up. The secret road is a good male master, and he is really extraordinary. But for 5,000 years in China, there is no record of the Shang dynasty, and there are gods. In this parallel world, Nakens is even more advanced than Great Qin. Except for that romance novel. And that romance novel, that is not the enslavement of the gods. So it's not that world either. But even the Flood Wilderness 05 Saint recognized it. Do you still care about that one in the romance novel? Look at this Shang Emperor again, just look at the face. He is by no means the absurd kind of romance novels. Shang Huang, Han Li, and Zhang Hulan did not shirk it, and walked up to the second floor together. Emperor Shang introduced many things to him since Zhang Hulan. I know that if I want to fight against the Protoss on your own, you won't be able to do that. If you have the help of the Origin Raider, it may be a lot easier. After thinking for a moment, he will tell the information of his own world. In my world, there are gods, underworlds, and humans. And the enslavement of the gods, for my human race, has lasted for countless years. Almost no one is in the mood to resist. It's already taken for granted. I think that the gods are powerful, immortal, and should be high. But I don't want to. Why do I have to mine underground for the Protoss day after day, year after year? Why is the Protoss standing high above and looking down on all beings? Why do we Terrans have to be bullied and killed by the Protoss at will, like mayflies? With the Shang Emperor's story, it also let everyone know a lot of information. There were merchants there, and there were also Joe people. But there is no so-called romance of the gods, only the gods are high up, enslaving sentient beings to mine. As for why mining, he couldn't figure out this Shang Emperor. This is bloodstone. There's a lot of life in it. Ying Zhang crushed the bloodstone, extracted the vitality in it, and felt it carefully. It's useless, what are you digging this thing up for every day? Is the Protoss brain a show? Zhu Yuanzhang also said suspiciously. After all, in the origin, there are a lot of potions to restore vitality. This bloodstone really doesn't look at them in their eyes. Let's not talk about this, now, the most important thing is to know how strong the Protoss is. And the heaven that the Shang Emperor said. Bo Feng Shuman said in a deep voice, and everyone nodded. Sky. Listening to this name, it's not easy to mess with the special mother. Only after you have done a real-time dynamic copy of the Emperor Shang and see the fate screen, can you know the relevant information. Shang Huang nodded. He naturally knew about the fate picture. Follow your own light curtain information. In a few days, there will be a live dynamic copy. When the time comes. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. You can get the fate picture from it. I don't know, what will I see then? Have you heard, there is another emperor in the origin? Don't talk nonsense, at that time in the Shang dynasty, it was not the emperor, but the emperor of the people. It's still a world where the gods enslave all beings and there is no daylight. Hearing that Emperor Ming was furious, Emperor Qin almost shook people directly. Shake people, shake whom? The sage of the flood wilderness, Nuwa. Ahem. When I heard that there was a god, I immediately wanted to find a saint to come to the town. My origin raider, what about the indomitable momentum before? It's not just a god, it seems that there is a heaven that rules everything, and if you call yourself a god, it should be very strong. Then who knows? Apprentice, are you familiar with the Shang dynasty? Xiao Yan rolled her eyes. I'm not from the Shang dynasty, I'm familiar with the fart. It's not like you, I've only read it in books. Xiao Yan didn't speak. The mind is unusually concentrated, and the flames are subtly controlled. Since the last time it was hit. He's also self-reflected. It is indeed immersed in the gentle countryside and delays the practice. After all, it's not like the original fate, and you have to think about what to make an appointment again in 3 years. Yeoken has no revenge, he needs to revenge. The Soul Clan has long since become a revenant. Dakian has been touched by the Alien Fire Alliance. The momentum of development is too good to be good. But the failure of the Origin Raiders can be regarded as a resounding slap in the face to the entire Origin Raiders. He woke them up. Heavens and worlds. There are many forces, and there are by no means a few that can be comparable to the Flood and the Abyss. It's like the world of the Supreme Mage Ancient One. The Absolute 390 is extremely powerful. And her world is still an infinite multiverse. There are as many strong as the stars. A strong person who can destroy the universe at will, that is also a big handful. Under this cognition, Origin Raiders, that will be proud. Those who practice the path of immortals, if they don't reach the golden immortal, don't be complacent. Those who polish the treasures of the flesh are not as good as the emperor, and they speak a little quieter. Polishing the soul ghost immortal, or the human immortal martial arts. If you don't reach the realm of crushing the vacuum, or the yang god, don't be rampant. Weapons that are not at 13, and those that are not perfectly enchanted in the worlds, do not show off. Concentrate on cultivation and brush up on dungeons. Hard. I don't know, we can't handle this copy. Seeing that Xiao Yan ignored himself, Yeoken muttered. The god of the world where the Shang Emperor is located, as well as the unknown sky, can't be done. It's not clear now. But here in Kyushu, a new mission to enter the secret realm. They said it would definitely work out. However, don't rush it, let the bullets fly for a while. Kyushu chaos into the secret realm. Information, aliens from the secret world of Independence Day, the mothership. Mission, kill or capture all aliens. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 208. Aliens from the secret world called Independence Day. Alright. According to what is known, it's a nice alien civilization. It can fight across the stars, has its own unique warship technology and shield technology, and so on. It's great. This time, the shield technology is not a bubble defense technology created on the side of the sea fortress based on the immortal vine. In between, the technical issues will have to be studied after the alien technology is fully obtained. Estes warriors, Night Raid squad, don't join in the fun. It's better to stay in the origin space and carry out your special cultivation. Liang Rong said through the video to Estes, as well as Red Pupil and others. No, even if it's a high-tech war, Estes, I have to participate. I will never let aliens harm the land of Kyushu in the slightest. Estes said. It's only been a few days since I joined Kyushu. She was pulled into the Kyushu Extraordinary Army by Kyushu and separated from her position as the general of the empire. Together with many heroic female soldiers, he became a new recruit. And here, she found a unique atmosphere. Completely different from the atmosphere of the empire. She is deeply trapped in the belief that the law of the jungle eats the strong, and cracks have appeared in this belief. She didn't know what it felt, exactly. But she enjoyed it. Here, there is not the slightest hint of the rotten taste of the empire. And the Red Pupil and others join the Special Operations Unit in the Extraordinary Army. A new squad was formed, and their original title of Night Raid was retained. We're going back to. Even Estes has to go back to Kyushu, how can the Red Pupil be left behind? Don't approve it, just train and attack with peace of mind. It's just some aliens, so don't make do with it. Also, the Black Pupil has been completely healed, but we have removed the Imperial tool, and our body is no different from ordinary people. When the time comes, I will also join Estes' side and enter the recruit team. Thank you. When Chi Tong heard that his sister was rescued, he was naturally overjoyed and hurriedly thanked him. However, she still wanted Black Hitomi to join the Night Raid Special Operations team. Think about it or forget it. It's good to go to Estesna. If it weren't for Estes protecting his sister, the seriously injured black pupils would have been eaten up by the mutated dangerous species. Turning off the video, Liang Rong smiled. She naturally understands that these people who have just joined Kyushu want to integrate into Kyushu's mind. But what they don't know is to be able to enter the Kyushu military, or the Extraordinary Group Army. An army of raiders for secret realms. Naturally, Kyushu has accepted them. Otherwise, even if it's a Kyushu person. If you have a slightly bad record, if you want to join the army, you can't pass the political trial. As soon as the video was cut, the hologram flickered again. The starry sky of the entire solar system, clear, was projected beside Liang Rong. In a flash, the void twisted. A massive alien mothership slowly penetrates the void and enters the solar system. It's coming. As he muttered, several projections lit up beside him. It was several elders of Kyushu. Haha, boss, you're not doing it properly. But I like it. The third elder said he, causing several elders to laugh. On the contrary, the great elder pretended to be like this, and Nene said, "What am I not doing properly?" Third child, Don't talk nonsense. Be careful, I'm in a hurry with you. When the time comes, let's go to the PK room of the Arad warriors. Liang Rong looked confused, and hurriedly asked gossiping. Second elder, what kind of dumb riddle is the third elder playing? What did the great elder do again? Don't wait for the second elder to speak. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. The great elder pretended to glare. Comrade Xiaoliang, what do you mean I'm doing again? Seeing Liang Rong looking at herself undeniably, the great elder whispered. Didn't I just let the Deep Space Fleet open the formation and hide it? So that the alien mothership will come. Isn't this just for the aliens to trap themselves? Liang Rong? If you're afraid that you just want to be quiet outside, and then show what it means to crush, scare people. Of course. The implication of the display is also quite obvious. Elder, the alien mothership isn't so stupid to run in on its own. Liang Rong pouted and said. Really? Holographic projection. The giant alien mothership, which was hundreds of kilometers in size, stopped in the extraterrestrial orbit. Eagle Sauce, Gallic Chicken, John Bull, Harry Bear, Sakurajima. Detected and other countries. Connect all your information. Do you want to play? Listen. I want to hear that the aliens have invaded. What are they still thinking? The great elder said softly. Voice messages sent to aliens are played in an instant. Sakurajima, Smimarsai, this is the country of Sakura, welcome sincere alien friends, join my Sakurajima co-prosperity circle. Mouseong, do it or not, Ula. Gallic Chicken, Cluck. John Bull, Moo Moo Moo. Eagle Sauce, this is the Eagle Sauce of freedom and democracy, and I hope to discuss a beautiful future of freedom and democracy with you. But the aliens didn't react at all. And under the gaze of Liang Rong and others, I saw that the huge alien mothership suddenly opened the ship's cabin. Large, tens of kilometers in size, almost the size of a city's flat warships. Like a huge flying saucer, it slowly floated to the high-altitude orbit. There were a total of 40 subspaceship warships, and Liang Rong counted them clearly. Then, these dozens of subspaceship warships instantly fell from a high altitude and invaded the planet. The alien invasion, Qian Wangzhao, began. Huge warships, each of which is under the real-time surveillance of Kyushu. They were under no pressure, they just watched quietly. Look at the huge battleship, piercing through the clouds and rolling up majestic clouds. Quietly suspended in the mid-air of the city. Naturally, Kyushu did not fall behind. There are 2 warships that are going to enter the Kyushu mainland. Let them in, don't shut them out. The great elder commanded. Lest those warships not be able to enter the land of Kyushu. Once you come in, invade the battleship directly and control all the aliens. Don't make any noise. Disturb the aliens. Spaceships elsewhere. Let them make a fuss first, for an hour at most. An hour later, we wrap up. Also, the wreckage of alien spaceships, warplanes, etc., can't be left outside. Toilet. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 209. Hello everyone, I'm the host Big Head Ice. I'm looking forward to Kyushu. Ahem. My long-awaited enemy of Kyushu, the aliens, finally appeared today. Please follow our camera and go straight to the scene of the alien invasion. Are you kidding? Alien invasion? Before we invaded, there were people who didn't have long eyes and came to look for trouble. It happened to be in the evening. In the air all over Kyushu, dozens of holograms appeared. Each picture corresponds to a city invaded by warships. And everyone hurriedly looked and found the two highlighted screens. One is in the magic capital of Kyushu, and the other is in the capital of Kyushu Chuandu. I'm on TV, the alien battleship on my head is so big. Friend, don't make trouble, the aliens have invaded. What about our deep space cluster? What about spaceship wars? Why did you let the aliens run over our territory? Ah, don't worry, it's okay, the alien just got to the head, we received the message, don't worry, the alien has been subdued. What do you mean to be subdued? That's it, Bing Bing quickly explains. Explanation. Data Bing saw the people's anxious inquiries, and she happened to be in the sky above the magic capital. Hello everyone, no hurry. 7. Our transcendent warriors have already infiltrated the spaceship. Everyone's look. With Data Bing's words, everyone in the live broadcast room hurriedly looked. I saw an alien battleship, opening a huge hatch. The moment the hatch opened, you can see a group of aliens escorted by soldiers and slowly walked out. This alien, why do you have so many tentacles? Hey, it's evil, but I like so much. What the hell upstairs? I don't understand what you're talking about. Seeing this, Big Head Ice rolled his eyes. After a while, this group of people was already driving. You have to stop it? You're not mistaken, this isn't an alien. Aliens, like us, belong to oxygen-breathing carbon-based life. I'll take you closer. Big Head Ice walked up to a warrior and looked at the alien who was making a murky noise. With a psychic shock. However, it could not harm the surrounding warriors in the slightest, including Data Bing himself. Hello, can you help remove the alien's armor? Big-headed Ice asked the warrior. The warrior did not move, until the command to agree to cooperate came from his ears, and then he saluted to the camera. Then he pressed on a part of the alien's torso. Click. A traily liquid trickled down the freshly opened gap in the armor. This is supposed to be the alien armor, the nutrient solution used to protect the body, and other items. Big Head Bing said guessingly. Until the warrior used his hands to peel off the armor, revealing the alien body with a small head. Look, everyone, this is the alien itself. Carbon-based life forms communicate with each other by mind, and each of them has a good psychic ability. It can be hypnotized and control weak living forms. And according to what we've learned, this alien belongs to a kind of Zerg, and there is a Zerg Empress in the race. But it's also the notorious interstellar predator in the universe, coming specifically to plunder energy. We came here for the core of our Earth. I think it won't be long before this alien body will be in front of all the medical students. Seeing the Big Head of Ice say this, medical students seem to have gotten rid of it. Tisk, is there a new Zerg? There's a new Zerg dissecting again, and my scalpel is hungry. What do you mean? You medical students, are you so BT now? Hee, you don't understand, but my favorite is the alien Zerg. The elegant lines, like a top killer in the dark, really make me fall in love with it. You, Ufbi, Noah Fart, and Plasma Bugs are the most handsome. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. The tale can actually generate biological parts that emit clusters of high-energy particles. Able to penetrate energy shields, penetrate space warships, powerful and ferocious. I'll go, how long have we been fighting in the universe with our back in Kyushu? Same question, what alien Zergs, plasma bugs, what the hell? The topic is crooked again as we chat. It's like no one is interested in aliens anymore. After all, the two alien warships that landed in Kyushu have been completely controlled by Kyushu. Hey! Hey! Data Bing couldn't help shouting twice, attracting the attention of everyone in the live broadcast room. Don't you care about those abroad? Hear the Big Head Ice's inquiry. Only then did everyone react. I haven't communicated with a foreign country for a long time, and I almost forgot that there is a foreign country. After all. Now it's just watching TV, and that's not even in China. It's not information from abroad, it's information from countries around the world. Even playing games online. Now some are not national servers, but servers of the origin realms. Open a black game, the person on the other side is not necessarily from Kyushu. It could also be the Ming dynasty, the people of the Great Qin. Or the ninja people and ninjas. Or ordinary people in the new world of pirates, or sea kings, or other races. It could even be a yokai of the demon clan. I almost forgot about this. I'm going, there are so many people abroad, what are you doing standing on the roof of the building? I'm welcoming aliens and want them to take him away. Isn't this stupid? Others are obviously here to kill and plunder. Do they still think that this alien is here to send warmth? Sure enough, it's the brain circuit of liberal democracy. Looking at the Western countries, many people held up signs with the word welcome written on them. Or to get closer to the aliens. Climb to the top of a tall building. Wave a sign in your hand, or an item such as a glow stick. Roaring loudly, frantically calling aliens. They even lit flames with wine bottles, burned cars, and burned shops. It seems to attract the attention of the aliens. And there are the wizards. Take advantage of the chaos. Engage in zero yuan purchase activities. Everyone in Kyushu was dumbfounded. Base. Serious people said they couldn't understand it, so I still went to brush my zombies. Hey, look at the alien battleship, there's movement. Really? The aliens didn't have time to pay attention to the clowns. The bottom of the battleship opened impressively. A luminous device is revealed. As soon as you look at it, you know it's a cannon muzzle that gathers energy. Just in the blink of an eye. The muzzle of the cannon flashed with tremendous energy. A pillar of light descended from the sky. Disaster has struck. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 210. Zerg alien battleship, in addition to Kyushu. Among the 38 cities. In the face of the frenzy, fear, and howling of the human race. Without any nonsense, I opened the super energy weapon at the bottom of the UFO battleship. In an instant, a huge pillar of energy light burst from the bottom of the battleship. The breath of destruction descended in an instant. Energy blasted down. The violent pouring of energy destroyed the high-rise buildings in an instant. Then the powerful impact was generated, and with the center of the energy beam of light, it poured fiercely in all directions. Accompanied by fires and explosions. Bombardment at a speed of hundreds of meters per second, destroying everything in its path. Whether it's houses, the land, the vehicles, or the people fleeing in panic. With just one blow, the entire city was destroyed. This picture, in the live broadcast, was completely displayed. Kyushu. Wouldn't that be too cruel? The second elder couldn't help but speak. The cruelty he was talking about was not the alien strikes on 38 cities, causing countless casualties. But such a cruel scene made the people of Kyushu face it head-on. Although the senior leaders of the elder group, the final decision is to let the people of the country see it, as if they feel it personally. Let the people of the country know. Be prepared for danger in times of peace. A belligerent will die, but a forgetful war will be dangerous. Kyushu now has powerful transcendence and technology, and has many powerful allies in the universe. Even dangerous moments. There will be a flood saint to make a move. And the all-knowing, inconceivable primordial master. But the more this is the case, the less indulgent it is to indulge in enjoyment. An abyssal evil god can suppress the forces of the origin raiders and the realms. What kind of face does this make the origin guys have to face the UN master? So Be vigilant at all times. It is necessary to sound the alarm bell for all people. Don't worry, second child, you have to believe in the people of our Kyushu. Let them understand that they must not stop there. If you really think that you can put the horse in Nanshan, the knife and gun will be put into storage. Then when you encounter a stronger enemy, it will be like before. I can't even resist. Mermaid Mead. The meaning of the great elder's words is naturally also in the live broadcast room. Was told by the big head ice. Because it's a foreign thing. We in Kyushu uphold the principle that we cannot arbitrarily interfere with the affairs of other countries. When we do not receive a request for help from another country, we cannot take the initiative to intervene. So as not to be criticized by the international community. The words of the big head ice also made many discerning people pout. Criticism of Kyushu with the growing strength of Kyushu. The outside can be turned over and does not stop, but rises day by day. The call for Kyushu to serve all mankind is higher and higher day by day. For example, Kyushu should open up its borders, open up its cultivation, open its secret world, and share scientific and technological knowledge. But Kyushu never bothered with these barks. The so-called freedom and democracy protests have swept the world. This strange brain circuit. It's really relying on Kyushu, and I won't do anything out of line. Today, though. Hee. Kyushu didn't make a move, and there were aliens who did. It's miserable. That's miserable. Why do I want to laugh, but it seems inhuman to think about it. A good one that doesn't interfere in the affairs of other countries. I like it, that's how it should be. Don't laugh, watch the video, Eagle Sauce is going to fight back. The original Eagle Sauce presidential palace is located, and now it has been turned into a ruined city. If you read a violent novel, go to Fila Novel Network. On the ground, only various charred residues remained. In the light of the fire, there are also patches of shimmering glass crystals. In the sky, hundreds of fighters of Eagle Sauce attacked quickly. Looking at that posture, it is natural to compete with the Zerg alien warship. As soon as they met, it was hundreds of missiles, bursting from afar, with a long tail flame, exploding outside the Zerg battleship. In an instant, a field of fireworks ignited. But at the same time, Kyushu through live broadcast. But I saw a scene. On the Zerg battleship, a green light curtain lit up around the entire battleship. It's a shield. Eagle Sauce's missiles were all blocked by the battleship's shield. So strong. Wait, why did our Kyushu warriors, casually, invade the Zerg warship? Wife, come out and explain. Data Bing saw the live broadcast room, and a barrage of shouting his wife brushed up, and he didn't feel anything anymore. After all, I've been used to it for a long time. Ahem, I'll talk about it. According to the message sent to me by our extraordinary intelligence department. This Zerg alien has a powerful psychic ability. And there is the existence of the Zerg Empress. With a strong psychic ability, we have built a communication system like the internet, allowing them to communicate at will. And their warship technology was also developed with this technology. Speaking of this, the big head paused. Because in the live broadcast screen, in the huge battleship, tens of thousands of alien fighters flew out in an instant. With the Eagle Sauce fighters, the battle began. But I didn't think about it, this alien fighter plane. Not only does it have a powerful beam energy attack, but it also has a small shield technology. Offense and defense, including all techniques, are much stronger than Eagle Sauce. That's like a novice. Enough of being abused. Or like the stick country. It's a small place. Now, it's even more miserable. The same is true for Sakurajima Island next door. But, weird. Until now, they have not contacted Kyushu to ask for help. They're fighting the idea of killing the aliens themselves and then monopolizing the technology. I'm so bold, I'm really not afraid of death. Kill the bold, starve the faint-hearted. Don't talk about this, my wife continued, you haven't finished talking yet. Seeing that the people were urging him to continue, Data Bing whispered. Just talking about battleship contact. This group of interstellar predator Zergs is a mothership that stays in an extraterrestrial orbit. To take full control of these ships. And we, Kyushu's Hilling, directly blocked the connection between the battleship and the mothership, causing the Zerg battleship to directly mute fire. The rest of the matter is naturally easier. With our extraordinary means, it is easy to invade the warship and control the Zerg. Speaking of which, the big head eye seems to have received some message. He smiled, and then said, being in the third world, or in a developing country, is no longer able to bear it. For my Kyushu, I sent a request for help. With humanitarian concern and no need for any compensation, I immediately dispatched soldiers in Kyushu. It is necessary to escort the aliens and warships back to my Kyushu, lest it become a catastrophe. Child.